Yo guys, welcome back to the video. Today, finally, I got the GameSir G7 Pro Controller. I think I said in the video, I know I haven't posted in a minute, sorry about that, but finally worked my ass off and got the controller. But it's only 80 bucks. Listen, I wasn't just gonna buy this only. I gotta get worry about other shit too. But I know 80 bucks is not too bad for a controller like this. I already made my own presets for games specifically so I can use the back buttons and extra bumpers. No, I do not use them for sliding, jumping, and other bullshit or reloading. I already do that because I have claw, meaning claw as in like claw grip. You get this, Shanaz. No one says that, Alex. Why the fuck did you say that? Anyways, first things first. Before I go over everything, I'm gonna go over the specs real quick. Well, actually, I don't even have to. I could just go to the website. So let me not even that, just the website. Oh, the controller just turns off, and now I'll turn back on. Yeah, the reason why if you hear that noise, that's just the controller connecting to my PC. I don't know if you heard a noise. I normally do, but that's just the controller disconnecting from the application and then reconnecting. It does this only when you're 1,000 hertz polling rates on PC. Um, I ordered this on Amazon. I'll just go to the website. I have this here because I bought my brother a GameSir controller, a really good one, and it's not the like greatest, but for Xbox, it's very good. I got him this. Got my brother this, the T7 Pro Floral. It has Hall effect sticks. He has, extra back buttons. It's wired. You could plug a 3.5 millimeter jack to the controller for, obviously, duh. It's literally an Xbox controller. Look at it. Look at the way it's built. But this is my controller here. This is the one I bought, and yeah, here's the description. Hold on, let me go read everything. Oh my god. Obviously, you could do wired, wireless, and Bluetooth wireless for mobile. On PC or Xbox is wired, but you can do either wired or wireless for PC. There is another version of the G7 Pro you can do. You get GameSir's MagRes TMR sticks. You get Hall effect analog triggers with clicky micro switch trigger stops. Fire, love that. You get gyro. I can care less about that. Enhancer control. Nope. You get four extra buttons, so you get two back buttons on the controller. You get two extra bumpers. Reason why I'm reading this from the official website, so no one can say I'm lying. I don't know why you're still loading. Did my internet cut? Okay, that's a little odd. Um, all right. Anyways, you get four extra buttons. You get two of the extra bumpers. They're mouse click. The extra back buttons have their own trigger stops, so you can like if you don't use one of them, you don't have to press it. You don't have to worry about it being accidentally pressed while playing, meaning like it will distract you or some shit. That's very nice. 1,000 hertz polling rates on PC, both wired and 2.4 gigahertz dongle, which it does come with. You get three-part magnetic swappable faceplate, extra D-pad for free customization. So yeah, that is true. You could take off the D-pad, the faceplate. You could even take off the controller analog sticks entirely, not the TMR stick sensors that's soldered into the motherboard of the controller. It's just you could take off the base to switch out like colors, which I think is very cool. Obviously, I don't really care about it. But yes, that is very true. You can absolutely do that. I'm about to do that right now. Damn, that shit is. It's so cool that you can actually fucking do that. And it also makes cleaning. For me, this is a very big bonus for me though. Mainly for cleaning, because I like to keep my shit clean. Well, I can say that, and I have a little bit of plates and some dishes and carpet needs to be vacuumed, but I don't always clean every single day. That's too much. I'm a little lazy once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I love that for cleaning. A smart auto stops the changing station, meaning like it already has its own charging dock. When I set the controller after I'm done using it wirelessly, immediately when I put it back on the dock, it turns it off completely and starts charging it. And when I take it off, it takes about like a good like 3 to 4 seconds for it to like connect, like first turn on and then connect to the PC. But it does not take long at all. It's very instant. I love that. And if you're on console slash Xbox, you can use a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, which I think is fucking insane. Because a lot of controllers don't do that no more. At least third party controllers don't do that, as far as I know. Besides the Gamesters. But yep, these are the specs, as you can see here. I'm not reading all of them, but oh yeah, the all the buttons are basically optical switches except for the D-pad. The D-pad is mechanical switches, like very responsive. Very responsive and I love it. And I'll go over the overalls, like how I feel about the controller and what I don't like and what I mostly like about it. All right, so that's out the way. And I'm also gonna make another video after this because I gotta go over this video on a specific topic. It's the same topic for controllers like this. I just don't understand the hate of pro controllers. Um, I just don't like this. I think it's the problem is that these companies pay too much. Sell these for too much money, in my opinion. Anyways, um, so yeah, let me just close out of this. Here's the software. I'm gonna go over all the settings that I use personally and what I like. You can use whatever the fuck you want. This is because if you own your own controller, G7 Pro or any type of games controller, do you what you want. But this is PC settings. Mainly, the only thing that's different is the gyro settings, which I don't use, and pulling rates, which you can already clearly tell that I use fucking 1,000 hertz. Um, but the main thing is, first we go over the triggers. So obviously, I have the mouse click, as you can see right there, right trigger, mouse click. You can also go off that, so you can get the. These are not membrane. These are actually called Hall effect, and yeah, they feel easier to press. They're more smooth and consistent. They feel better than like a regular Xbox controller's triggers. I like that. But I always like the mouse click triggers because I mostly play shooter games. Gears of War is a shooter game, not just FPS games. I also play racing games, so I can always go back to like regular trigger motion. Typical. I always have no dead zone because on the triggers because I want that shit to be instant no matter what. Even when I'm playing racing games, I want to have the best throttle control as possible. That's the main reason why I have it. I mean, I don't really need it at zero dead zone, but that's personally a preference. And I don't recommend hair trigger mode. I just don't recommend it. I don't really see the big deal with it. I don't see why it's so good. But hey, if you want to use it, you can use it. I don't give a shit. If it works for you and you like it, go for it. I can give two fucks. That's you. This is just a me thing. And this is what I prefer, and I think this is what the best for most people. At least I should say for a lot of people. Um, Get the fuck out the way, mouse. Anyways, obviously the curve alignment, you don't want it like weirdly curved. I don't know why you would want that. This is an S curve. Again, I don't know why you would want that on triggers, but I guess linear is the best one, obviously, and then obviously head trigger goes off. And dead zones are obviously this. You don't want to change these values. Yeah, I'll show you why. As you can see, you don't want that. You just keep it how it was before. Um, Now we have the sticks. Now, personally, no, what you're looking at is not stick drift. What you're seeing is not stick drift. I promise you, this is not stick drift. It looks like drift, but it's not. That's not drift. These have very accurate TMR sticks. What that means is, since I have no dead zones, they are reporting every single tiny movement. Not even if I'm touching the analog stick. That doesn't mean, oh, it's defective. You need to get a new controller. No. This just means your controller is perfectly fine and it's just reporting everything. Perfectly fine. Now I know the left stick looks like it's drifting this way, but it's not because if I let the controller rest for a second, give it like 5-10 seconds, right? And I barely touch the controller, boom, 0%, 0%. And I can stay on this. Look, I'm not moving the controller. I have my hands off, no stick drift. If I move the controller, now it's reporting. Now wireless does take a while, and if you're on wired, it will actually report more accurately because it's an instant connection, less jitter. Wireless, even on 2.4 gigahertz, you get more jitter and less accurate pulling because of again the jitter from the wirelessness. But yeah, I'm on wireless right now, so if I was on wired, it'd be a little bit different. The values would be lower. But most people use like high stick dead zones on their left stick. At least I do. I don't know what maniac uses micro adjustments, needs that low dead zone to micro adjust on fucking left stick. I don't know anybody for that matter. So yeah, vibration. I like to keep that all off, or mainly just use the in-game settings. That's what I do. But the only game I don't is if when I use this one, when I use this profile, I know that it looks exactly the same. That's the whole point. Consistency. The vibrations are actually up. I actually might put these a little up more because this is mainly when I'm using like either paladins, which I always have vibrations off in the game anyways. Grid Legends, a racing game, or any type of racing game that has vibration, I like that on. Yes, does that drain the battery? Sure, but you know what I could do if I'm gonna play Grid Legends? I can always just change the polling rates. either to 1,000, which I don't recommend if you're gonna do racing. I think I just recommend to change, to slow down the power, do 500 hertz. That's 2 times less power draw, because it's literally 2 times less than 1,000. 500 hertz is 2 milliseconds. 1,000 is one. You get the shit. I mean, you could do four. It's not a big deal. You could do 250 hertz. That's like 4 milliseconds of response time. Not a big deal. But I keep this at 1,000 personally. Um, yeah, that's really about it for the settings. Yeah, that's now let's just test the latency to show you that I'm not lying about the latency. So I'm gonna use 1,000 hertz first, and 1,000 hertz. Well, obviously I'm gonna do 1,000 hertz, but I'm doing wireless first. We're gonna do it like 3 times. So it's reporting instantly. Don't worry about that. So obviously there's a lot of outliers. Don't let that fool you. I'm actually at 1,000 hertz. That's only because I have opera um this open. I have this open. I'm recording, and I have this open. Wireless is very weird when it comes to, because the CPU. That's what the CPU scheduler, the USB scheduler bullshit. So it's not gonna be perfect, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Polling rate's about 976 here, up to only 3 outliers. Not bad. Very, very low jitter. Average milliseconds is roughly around 1. The minimum is 0.7. The max is only 3.95. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's do 4,000. This might take a little longer, or a lot longer. Um, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's a lot of outliers, but that's normal for wireless. Again, the polling rates are extremely high. Again, the max responsiveness, or the max polling, is only at 3.94. That's still very good. These jitters you will not feel in real game. These are very, very fast. These are not like for like 3 seconds. They don't last like 3 seconds. They only last like, they're like small, tiny, quick spikes. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's what that does. Oh, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do this. All right. Oh no, I gotta do wired. All right, hold on. I'm not gonna do this stick resolution test because I won't lie to you. The max I've gone was up to 3,000 to 3,500, give or take, on stick resolution. Mark my words when I say I'm not kidding with you. That is the amount of stick resolution I was able to get with Stick Analyzer. That is very high and very accurate. I promise you. The first try I got was 3011 stick resolution. The second try I got up to 3,482. You could tell I'm being genuine because I would not pull out some random numbers out my ass and remember it the entire time for this fucking video. And then the third time I got only up to 3007. It is what it is. Now we're gonna test wired. Let me plug in my wire. Let me do 4,000 samples since it makes sense. Hold on, let me get wire connected. So it's gonna disconnect the controller for a second and then reconnect it with wired because it's changing from wireless to wired. Duh. And let's do this. Only one outlier. That's actually pretty interesting. Again, wired is way more consistent and way less jittery. I mean, even wireless is not jittery, but look at the polling rates. Obviously, 1,000. Do it again. Now I got 0 outliers. Damn, I'm heading up to 1,079 hertz. That's crazy. That is insane. The max is only 1.1. So wired is definitely the best for consistency. Now, I know you won't feel it in actual matches. I won't. But it can be it can be noticeable for at times. Like, you could definitely notice sometimes. I'm gonna do it one more time, and then that'll be last thing, and then that's it. That's basically it. And then I'm gonna give you guys my honest review on this controller because I love this controller. This controller is my main driver. Damn, 1,079 hertz polling rate. God damn. Minimum is 0.7. That's actually very low. Max is 1.9. That's nothing. Jitter, very, very low. Average is 0.92. Perfect. Damn. So as you can see, very responsive and very good, and very aesthetically pleasing. Um, so yeah, I love everything about this controller. The only things I don't like, literally, is the fact that the select and start buttons are too high on the controller. That is my only downside to this controller. Um, Other than that, everything I do like about this controller. I like almost everything. I love the fact that it comes with TMR anti-drift sticks. I mean, those are like the best of the best for controllers. I like the anti-friction rings. Makes it feel very smooth when you do circle motions. I also slapped on some control freaks, which make this even feel better. I like the. I love the fact almost every single button on here is optical switches, meaning they're like almost similar to a mouse click. A button, A, B, X, Y feel very good. The LSX feel good. The mouse click, the triggers, the extra bumpers, like this feels amazing. I like the rubber on the bottom because it makes it more comfortable to hold. I know some people like plastic because it feels comfortable to them. Understandable, but for me, I actually like this a lot. Very good. And I'm not glazing it because I bought it with my own money. Because I fucking did bought it with my own money. I bought it because I knew I was buying a very good product. And man, this when I'm telling you right now, this controller looks absolutely stunning in real life. It is stunning. I love this controller. I'll never change to any other controller. Never buying a regular PlayStation controller. Never buying a regular Xbox controller. I'm only buying GameStop controllers or something like that. And I'm gonna see if I get the Supernova. I won't make a video on that controller. It's probably gonna be really, really similar to this controller. And I bought my brother for Christmas a GameStop controller as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. About to make another video about something else. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'm sorry that I'm not doing this stick analyzer. Please take my word when I tell you that I got roughly around 3,000 to 3,500 stick resolution in the stick analyzer. Because I did not say 3,482 stick res for no fucking reason. I will not lie about that shit. I remember that since the day I did it. Trust me. Which was like yesterday, I think. Or the day before. I'm not going to even lie. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. No, Friday. Now it's Friday because it's 2:44 a.m. Yeah, my sleep schedule is fucked, so that's why I'm doing this video. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Uh, Let me know if you like the GameSir G7 Pro, if anyone has one. Let me know if the Supernova is actually decent as well, if anyone has one and anyone does see this video. But yeah, I'll see ya later.